How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be talking about why you should buy a rental property. So when I first sparked an interest in real estate, all of my friends and family were telling me why real estate is such a bad idea and it's such a risky investment. Everybody was so concerned and focused on tenants not paying rent or a tenant trashing your house, but in reality, the benefits of real estate far outweigh those slight possibilities. But before I get into the why that you should buy real estate, I do want to make it clear that real estate, when you're starting off, is not as much of a passive investment as a lot of people think it is, and it does require a lot of work. So if you think you're just gonna go ahead and buy a property and then just collect checks and make money and then you're done, you're gonna have a rude awakening because there's gonna be a lot more work than that. On top of that, it requires a lot of time and dedication to find the right properties and to find the right tenants, and if you don't do it right, you can really mess yourself up. Alrighty, so let's get into the benefits of real estate and why you should buy a rental property if you don't already have one. Alright, so the number one benefit that everybody knows and everybody talks about is cash flow. So when I'm looking to buy a property, my goal is to make at least a few $100s a month in cash flow after paying my mortgage, all of my expenses, and putting some money away in reserves for vacancies or something going wrong. Now, I will say cash flow is the most rewarding money I've ever made in my life. Just getting that money every single month gives me so much satisfaction. And I love seeing that number increase every single year from me acquiring new properties and from me implementing rent increases. Another huge benefit in owning real estate is owning a property that increases in value every single year, which is also known as appreciation. The awesome thing is that the property appreciates on the value of the property, not the value of your investment. With that being said, if you have 20% of equity in a property, and that same property increases or appreciates by 5%, your 20% of equity is now going to increase to 25%. Now, to put that example into like real life numbers, let's say you go out and you purchase a property for $200,000 and you put $40,000 as a down payment. Now, if this property appreciated by 5%, which is also $10,000, the property is now worth $210,000, and your initial equity that you had in the property, which was $40,000, now turns into a $50,000 in equity. So your $40,000 investment turned into $50,000 in 1 year just by the property appreciating by 5%. This is a great way to build wealth, and this is how I personally increased my net worth tremendously over the past couple of years. The cool thing is that the longer you have a property, the more beneficial it'll be. All right, the next big reason why you should buy real estate is because of principal pay down paid for by your tenants. So every single month that your tenant pays rent, you pay a mortgage. Of that mortgage, a fraction of it goes towards paying down your principal. The cool thing is that percentage of principal pay down increases every single month because of the amortization. So you will have a lot more money that you're paying to principal pay down in year 30 than you would in year 1. Now, the only downside of this is that you really don't see that money until you either sell your property or until that mortgage is paid off. However, it does increase your net worth and it's really beneficial in the long run. All right, so the very last reason you should buy a property, and arguably my favorite reason ever, is the tax benefits. So most people generally forget about taxes until you're hit with a huge tax bill at the beginning of the next year, but there's a plethora of different deductions that real estate offers. All right, so the first thing you should write off, and probably the most common, is gonna be your interest and insurance payments that you've made throughout the year. The cool thing is that your loan servicing company should send you a tax document every single year stating the number you have paid in interest. For insurance, you do need to do some digging and save some receipts from whatever insurance provider that you have to then turn that into your accountant. Next off, you need to save every single receipt for everything you've spent on that property throughout the year. Personally, I did a really big renovation to one of my properties last year, so I saved every single receipt. I documented everything down to the penny so I can deduct as much as possible. A lot of people forget about this until it's too late, so make sure you save your receipts. So my absolute favorite deduction is actually depreciating your property. With that being said, the IRS allows you to depreciate the actual structure of your property over 27 and a half years, so then you can deduct that every single year on your taxes. So a little example for you all, if you go ahead and purchase a property for $200,000 and it's valued the land at $40,000 and the actual structure at $160,000, you can go ahead and take that $160,000 appraised or assessed value for the structure and divide that by 27 and a half years, which would equal a little over $5,800 that you can deduct from your taxes every single year. I will say there are many more deductions that you can find. You just need to do a little Googling to find them out. But I will say this is the number one thing that rich people and millionaires do to really pay less in taxes. So really, really, really pay attention to this and really do your homework on it. Alrighty, and we've gotten to the end of the video. If this has not convinced you to go ahead and buy a rental property if you have not already, I don't know what will. Real estate has made the most millionaires out of anything in the entire world, and it's honestly the best way to create generational wealth. And this is personally something that I've gotten into a few years ago, and there's no looking back for me. I don't regret it one bit, and it's really made me so much more happier in life knowing that I'm more secure in my future. But if you guys did enjoy the video, please do smash that like button. If you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe, and I'll see you all in my next video. Thanks so much.